All right, let's talk about something huge that's changing the way we find, well, everything online. If you've spent years learning about SEO, search engine optimization, get ready, because the game has a new name, AEO.
You know, for the longest time, the mission was crystal clear, right? Get to #1 on Google, be that top link. But that's not the goal anymore, not really. The new Holy Grail? It's not about being a link in a list. It's about becoming the answer. So what happened? How did we get to this point?
Okay, so this whole shift really kicks off with a massive problem. A problem that's kind of freaking out anyone who relies on their website for business. We're talking about the vanishing click.
And when I say massive, I mean it. Check this out. Over half, more than 50% of all searches on Google now result in 0 clicks. Let that sink in for a second. Someone searches, Google gives them the answer right there on the page, and that's it. They're gone. They never even have to visit a website.
So what does this mean for you if you're a business or a creator? It's a huge deal. A potential customer could literally ask a question about your service. Google could use your website to provide the answer, and you get nothing. No click, no visit, no lead. You're completely invisible. You never even knew they existed.
So you gotta ask, why? Why would Google do this? It seems counterintuitive. Well, to figure out how to win, you first have to understand the new game Google's playing. And yeah, they're the ones pushing this whole 0-click thing. And here's maybe the best way to wrap your head around it. Think of the old Google as a librarian. You'd ask a question, and the librarian would point you to the right aisle, the right shelf of books. You still had to go find the info yourself. But the new Google, it's not a librarian, it's a super knowledgeable personal assistant. It does the reading for you and just comes back with the final answer.
And that right there brings us to the big idea, answer engine optimization, AEO. If Google is now an answer engine, not just a search engine, then our job changes. It's not about getting the assistant's attention anymore. It's about becoming the one single source that the assistant trusts above all others. You want to make your content so good, so clear, that it becomes the obvious choice for the answer.
And this isn't just a theory, you know. Experts in the field are all over this. People like Morteza Azimi. He's a top strategist for SEO and AEO over in Dubai, really focused on the UAE and Middle East markets. He puts it perfectly. He says, we've moved on from just trying to rank #1. Now it's a much more nuanced game. The game of becoming the source of the answer.
Okay, so if this is the new game, where do you play? What does the battlefield look like? Let's take a look at the prime real estate on the search results page. These are the spots you're fighting for.
First up, the big one, the featured snippet. Oh, you've definitely seen this. It's that magic box that sits right at the very top of the page, even above the #1 result. It might be a quick paragraph or a bulleted list. Whatever it is, it's the direct answer. They call it position 0, and yeah, it's pretty much the most valuable digital real estate there is.
Then you've got the people also ask box. And seriously, this thing is a goldmine. Google literally gives you a list of other questions people are asking. And when you click one, boom, it opens up a little snippet with an answer. If you can create content that answers these questions, you can show up multiple times on the same search page. That's huge.
And finally, we have the new frontier, Google Search Generative Experience, or SGE. This is the next level. It's a big AI-generated summary that sits at the top, pulling info from a bunch of different sites to create one perfect, synthesized answer. Now, getting cited as a source inside this AI summary, that is the ultimate trophy. It means Google's AI sees you as one of the most trusted sources on the web.
All right, so we know what we're aiming for, and we know where to find it. But the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you write stuff that Google's AI will pick up and feature? Well, believe it or not, there's a pretty clear formula.
And the best part? The formula is super easy to remember. Just think of the acronym, CAT. That's it, CAT. It stands for concise, authoritative, and tagged. Nail these 3 things and you're well on your way.
So let's break CAT down piece by piece, because getting this right is literally the difference between getting featured as the answer and getting totally ignored. First up, C for concise. Google's AI is impatient. It wants the answer, and it wants it now. So what does that mean for you? You have to answer the main question right away, like in the very first paragraph. No long intros, get straight to the point, keep it short, under 50 words is a great target, use simple, scannable sentences that a machine can grab easily.
Next, A for authoritative. And look, this one is non-negotiable. Google absolutely has to trust you before it presents your content as fact. You have to prove what they call EEAT. That's expertise, experience, authority, and trust. Practically speaking, this means you need to be transparent. Who wrote this piece? What makes them an expert? Show your credentials. It's not enough to say you're an authority, you have to prove it on the page.
And finally, T for tagged. This is the more technical, behind-the-scenes part, but it's just as important. You have to format your content in a way that search engine crawlers can understand. Use proper headings, H2s, H3s, to give your article a clear structure. Use bullet points and numbered lists. Google loves those for snippets. And if you can, use something called schema markup. It's like adding little labels to your content that tell Google, hey, this part is an FAQ. It just makes their job way easier. Okay, so winning one of those answer boxes is awesome, but the real endgame of AEO is so much bigger than that. This is about playing the long game. It's about building real, lasting digital authority.
See, this isn't just a trick you use on one page. The ultimate goal is to become the go-to source for your entire topic. You want to get to a point where whenever a question about your industry is asked, Google's AI reflexively thinks of your website as the most reliable place to find the truth.
And how do you do that? The most powerful strategy here is called the pillar and cluster model. Here's how it works. You create one huge, definitive guide, that's your pillar page, on a big, broad topic. Then you create lots of smaller articles, your cluster pages, that dive deep into very specific subtopics. The key is, all of those smaller pages link back to your main pillar page. This creates a powerful web of content that signals to Google, hey, we don't just know a little bit about this, we are the experts on this entire subject. And that really gets to the heart of it all, doesn't it? The old world of SEO, sometimes it felt like you were just trying to find clever ways to trick an algorithm. AEO is the complete opposite. It's not about tricks. It's about being genuinely, authentically helpful. It's about earning trust, not gaming the system. Which leaves us with one last, kind of heavy thought to chew on. In a world where AI is becoming the main source of answers for everything, the people who master this stuff gain an incredible amount of power. They're not just getting traffic to a website anymore. They are literally shaping the single, synthesized truth that millions of people will see. So the big question is, in a world where an AI finds the answers, who gets to decide what's true?